On.
What's going on, YouTube? It's Luddite Report again. We got some shit going on in the great country of the United States. We got Trump and the Justice Department still butting heads, but it looks like a win for Trump today. We also got some news coming out of Twitter with the Twitter files, all the dumps that Elon's been giving us the last few days about deep state corruption within Twitter and other, most likely, other social media platforms, and just how they've been controlling the American people through their freaking algorithms. So we're going to jump right into it. Today, just about a couple hours ago, a federal judge has told the Justice Department that they will not hold Trump and the Trump team in contempt of Congress, or I mean, not in contempt of Congress, in contempt for holding any classified documents. The judge said that Trump and the Justice Department had to come to some type of agreement, and we're going to see in the next few weeks what that agreement is. I'm guessing what it's going to be is they're going to find a happy middle ground. I mean, they're not going to charge a former president with contempt or trying to steal classified documents, even though the left has been squealing for the last few months that he's been trying to sell nuclear documents, that some reason Trump wanted to steal all these classified documents to sell to Russia. Like, I love the whole Russia boogeyman thing that they've been running on us since, I don't know, forever, and they think it's still working. They're using the same playbook they've been using since the 50s and the 60s. And it's not working anymore. And I think the deep state is getting the drift. But yeah, so what we're seeing here with Trump, this whole contempt thing, it
Yeah, what I'm gonna
shows.
do is I'm gonna try to pull it up right now, the article.
Yeah, pull up the article. It's the federal judge pretty much says, you guys put on your big boy pants, figure this out. It's just documents. He's not charging a former president with contempt.
Yeah, here we
This is a
go.
big win for the Trump team. This is a big win for the Trump team. There's a lot of people on the left, a lot of the big pundits were hoping that he would get hit with contempt, that the Justice Department is fully weaponized against Republicans, as it seems.
Yeah, man, right here it says a federal judge declined to hold former President Donald Trump in contempt of court in a closed-door hearing on Friday. Two sources familiar with the matter told CNN. The sources also told CNN that Chief Judge Beryl Howell instead pressed the Trump team and the Justice Department to work together to find a mutually agreeable solution. All right, so that pretty much sums that up. I mean,
I
I
mean,
mean,
this whole classified documents thing is a big shit show. It's just Biden weaponizing the Justice Department because, as you saw before the Mar-a-Lago raid, the FBI was there. They went in, they checked the documents that Trump with him from the White House, that the National Archives they had to sift through it before he even left the White House. The National Archives, they had to go in there and
yeah,
take care
but
of it.
Biden has been weaponizing the FBI and things of that nature. I mean, look at Project Veritas when it comes to the Hunter Biden. I mean, wasn't it his daughter's journal
Yeah, it was
or
his daughter's
diary?
journal, the Ashley Biden journal.
Yeah, and he weaponized them. Like, why is it that the FBI has to get involved over a journal? Like, it wasn't stolen; it was something that was just found.
Well, that's because we're getting very close to Banana Republic. But in the eyes of these I'm telling you, it's
What
getting
is
very
Banana
close.
Republic?
Dictatorship.
Oh God. We gotta
Yeah.
go this way, bro. What is banana? Now I don't know what the fuck Banana Republic is about. What's Banana Republic?
Oh, that whole South American thing when like with Panama and back in the day, we used to go in there and install dictators and everything. And it, it's a whole nother
Oh God.
subject. But let's stay on Trump here. Let's stay on Trump and what's going on with the freak Justice Department. It's insane. I mean, you have Merrick Garland in the Justice Department that's been going against conservatives left and right. You see, we'll go with an easy cut, clear cut example. When the Supreme Court was going to do rule on Roe versus Wade, you had that one guy who went to go kill Brett Kavanaugh. You had people protesting outside the conservative justices' houses, threatening their lives. You're not supposed to be. You can't. It's against the law to protest against these conservative justices. I mean, against any judge. You're not supposed to do it. but the Justice Department has been letting it happen. You saw it was a pro-life pastor out in Pennsylvania. They arrested, I forgot on what charges. You see them going after anybody who's been closely affiliated with January 6th, whether they were there holding a rally, organized a rally. They didn't even have to show up in person. They've been hunting.
Which had FBI, undercover FBI people in it, infiltrated and whatever. They were actually there present during the quote unquote insurrection that happened.
Yeah, the FBI has been. They've been doing this shit for. I mean, it's nothing new. They've been doing this for a long, long time.
Yeah,
They
there's even a
infiltrated the
video
Black
of a dude who's like
Panthers.
saying, "Let's raid it, let's raid
Oh,
it."
Ray. Oh,
Like
yeah, that's Ray Epps. That's good old Ray Epps. And then
the
whenever
guy, he was on
anybody,
the top FBI like wanted list or whatever, and then they removed him all of a sudden.
yeah, he was definitely he was a glowing one. Definitely, he was definitely a glowing one. He was a shill. The FBI does this shit all the time, though. They infiltrate protests. They start breaking glass or something, trying to incite more violence. That way, the police forces come in with a heavy hand. That's what they do.
They're like forcing their hand though to like do these things, and then they say, "Look, you did it." It's like they get you
But
90% of the way there, and then once you do the extra 10%, they're like, "Yeah, look, you did it." But it's like, dude, you influenced me to get to the 90% there. Like, what the fuck?
it's what they did with those guys with the kidnapping case in Michigan with Gretchen Whitmore. It was like most of them were FBI agents, and they pretty. This is what they do. They're like, oh, they get you in a chat room, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I hate her too, and they'll give you the like the whole idea of how to make the bombs or whatever. They get you going, give you the connections or whatever, and then when you get so close, then they're going to come in and just arrest you. They're manufacturing a crisis. That's what they're doing. Just like with these the attacks on the power stations throughout the country. It's either climate activists or it's the FBI trying to incite some type of, let's say, another insurrection or some type of white supremacist plot on overthrowing the government. That's because about a week ago they put out a memo uh, warning everybody about white supremacy and terror attacks from white supremacist groups. And once this happened, that was the first thing that started going on Twitter. It was like, oh, it's got to be a white supremacist looking to start a civil war, which is bullshit, bro. It's bullshit. This is coordinated. This is coordinated. White supremacists ain't coordinated like this. This is
Yeah.
definitely. It's either. It's got to be the deep state. I can't see any other attacking power grids, and they haven't found anybody.
Oh yeah, that thing that you actually sent me about the power grid. Let me see if I could pull that up real quick. But yeah,
There's one the Pacific Northwest in Oregon and Washington, but the first one was down in I believe it was North Carolina.
yeah, it was North Carolina. I remember reading the article.
This is going around, but the FBI, they've been crying this whole white supremacist boogeyman since Biden came into office. He said the same thing. He's like the biggest threat that faces this nation is white supremacy. So what I see them doing is weaponizing the Justice Department like they did against good old Donald Trump, and they're going to do it against conservatives, any conservative that's involved with any type of militia organization, any far right organization that has to do with, let's say, guns. You're going to see them targeted like at a rate you would never seen before. I think that's where this Biden White House is at, where the Justice Department is at, and it's just where the left is at in their whole train of thought right now. They see the other side as the enemy, as do some Republicans, but they see us as an enemy to their democracy. They call it their democracy when it's really a constitutional republic.
And here's the article actually about the investigation of the power station attack, the coordinated attack here. How they literally I mean, they literally shot these power stations to stop the power. I mean, that just goes to show you how vulnerable we are, though. There's also been cases where they've been hacked, where you don't even have to physically do these things. But I don't know, from another perspective, another angle, we could look at this as like, somebody trying to raise awareness as to like where we're vulnerable at in our country, right? This could be some type of group that is saying, okay, our power grid is weak. We're seeing that our politicians aren't doing anything like that. Let's coordinate something to make it look like it was an attack so that way we could fortify this. We can make this better. That's just the playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah, I mean, but honestly, if I had to pick any type of group who's behind this, it would be climate activists wanting to get rid of the power and whatnot. That seems like something
Oh
up
yeah,
there.
that's cool. Yeah, that'll work too. But then they're the same ones that are saying that you need electric cars. So why would you take down the electric grid when you need an electric car to get recharged by this electric grid? And apparently solar and all that stuff. I mean,
That's
where do
why
you think the
even I
stuff
don't
gets
even think those
redistributed from?
yeah, I don't even think those climate activists are that fucking far out of their heads to coordinate this around the country. This seems like something that the glowing ones will be doing to cause another mass fear or panic in the throughout the population in order to pass something. This is
Dude,
another
these are the
false flag.
glowing ones. You keep using these little key terms, yo, and I feel like I'm not a part of the cool club.
The glowing ones, that's a term for like federal agents, undercover federal agents. They're glowing, they glow in the dark.
Okay, learning some new lingo here.
So some new lingo.
Yeah,
But yeah, the Justice Department has been weaponized, especially against Trump and anybody close to Trump. You've seen it with Steve Bannon, you've seen it with Roger Stone, you name it, Alex Jones, anybody with Mike Lindell, anybody with any type of clout, any type of connections to Trump, they're going after. So it's only going to get worse from here on out. And now this federal judge throwing out that whole contempt case.
hmm
This throws a wrench in their plan because they were hoping they could find the right federal judge
yeah, but
who's
they've
got
been
a
wasting tax dollars on these types of investigations. Remember the Russia Gate?
oh oh
They waste millions and millions and millions of dollars on these investigations, tax-paying dollars.
the deep state has been colluding against Trump since he won that election. Or before they were even spying on him in the Trump Tower. So they did that before. The Obama Justice Department was spying on Trump in Trump Tower. They set up a whole bunch, hidden microphones and shit on it in his devices, you name it. The
Yeah,
the Obama Justice Department started this shit, and that because Obama's whole reason was, oh, we had to be sure that he wasn't what was it corrupted or anything by the Russians. That's what they always use, the Russians, the Russians, the Russians. So this has been happening for a while. And another reason why and how this all
they
plays
say
into
the
Trump
Russians, but then if on Biden is actually seen getting money from the Chinese for Russians. I mean that whole
and Russians, he gets money from the Russians too. I mean,
yeah
Hunter got
from
a
all that.
nice little check from I think the mayor of Moscow. It might have been the mayor of
Yeah,
Moscow.
the whole Ukrainian company, the Ukrainian-based energy company. Forgot what
Yeah,
it's called.
the deep state is all on this whole witch hunt against Trump. They're behind it 100%. The deep state and the Democratic Party. But I don't even want to say it's just the Democratic Party because it's not just them. It's a lot of Republicans too who are trying to fucking destroy Trump. The Mitch McConnells, the Romneys, the freaking Liz Cheneys. I mean, it doesn't get any swampier than those fucking names I
Yeah,
just
but
said right there.
let's not even play the game though. Like, and think Trump is like the god or something like that. Because it's like they're attacking Trump. Okay, but Trump is also, he's
No, honestly, he's probably a shitty person. Like, there was a poll up on Twitter the other day, like, who would you rather have a beer with, Donald Trump? Might have been Biden or somebody else. I was like, none of the above. Like, honestly,
yeah.
I would not want a fucking beer with Trump.
These are all
With
egotistical, egomaniacal
Yeah,
individuals. Like to have people,
he's
yeah,
not my type of people, but I like what the policies he was enacting, the American First policies. And that's what bucked the deep state because they're on more of a global agenda. Trump was more on America first, bringing back manufacturing, making the NATO pay their fair share of defense spending. He wanted to pull us out of conflicts where we did not need to be. He wanted to start defunding the military industrial complex, and that was a big no-no. Just remember when Trump he was drone striking ISIS and he took out was it Soleimani, that I think he was the ISIS leader. Oh, no, the Iranian guy.
Iranian guy, yeah, that he
Yeah,
was walking to his car or something like that, and they just
yeah.
boom.
And he was being praised by CNN. I remember listening to CNN, hearing that greasy lip bitch Don Lemon fucking, oh, Trump is acting presidential finally. Why? Because he's dropping bombs on fucking people. That just shows you how the military-industrial complex has their grips within the media, and it's running the country.
But yeah, that has to do also with that ties into Twitter, right? And what Elon Musk is revealing and all that stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna cut to a break, and then we're gonna continue on with the Twitter files and see how that ties into what we're talking about with Trump. All right, we'll be right back.
Like I was saying, the corruption in the Justice Department, it's insane. I mean, it's always been corrupt, but now we're actually seeing it. I don't I don't know if it's because social media, but now the whole public sees how corrupt the fucking Justice Department is. I mean, you see it from coast to coast, from New York City, Letitia James investigating the Trump organization, baseless claims. They're looking for anything. I mean, the only thing they could find was some guy who he used, I think, a rental car on the company dime or some bullshit. That's all they could hit him with.
Hmm.
And they're trying to get him to flip on the Trump organization. Like, oh yeah, Trump knew exactly what all his employees were doing. And that's what they're doing. And you see the same thing going on in San Francisco with Twitter and San Francisco Mayor London Breed. You see how her now they're investigating Twitter because Elon put beds in Twitter. Like, what the fuck? Didn't Google have like little sleep pods for all these people? Fucking
Yeah, they did.
pods.
100%.
Elon put beds in there, and now like we're gonna investigate him for this. The Justice Department.
They're also trying to get him for you know how he cleaned the house and he fired a bunch of people. He's saying it was misogynistic. He got rid of all the women and all this and that. I mean, they're trying to hit him with every angle that possible from the woke angle, actually.
Yeah, it's all woke. It's all woke.
Yeah,
It's
this whole woke
insane.
culture is funny.
It's really insane, and I don't even think they see how insane they look. It's like he said, "Get ready to work hard," and they quit. You get your severance. Now they're gonna try to sue him. Oh, because more women were fired because more women don't like to fucking work hard, and that's just a sad truth. So,
That's a
no,
crazy
women work hard.
generalization.
Women work hard, but honestly, women are more social creatures. That's why you see like when people are like, oh, women CEOs, men CEOs, most majority are gonna put in 80-hour fucking work weeks.
I
Men are
mean,
gonna
if they
work.
have a family, you know what I mean? They're not
Yeah,
gonna really want to fucking, be working all these hours that he's demanding of people.
yeah. I mean, most women, I mean, have families, and and usually in the family structure, when it comes down to it, yeah, the wife could have her job and do her thing, but when it comes to like the importance of job, the husband's a CEO. He's gonna put the family life aside and work all the time, work around the clock. That's what they do. But women, they want time for their kids. They want to be able to go sit down at the cafe and have their coffee and go do their morning yoga.
You're making that sound bad.
No, it's good. Self care is great. I think self care is great. You should take care of yourself. You shouldn't work yourself into the ground. But if somebody gives you a challenge, like get ready to work hard, and you decide to quit, and then you go to sue them, that just fucking seems so stupid. Like they would have had their jobs if they would have got on board with the freak Elon's direction of the company, but they wouldn't because they're ideologically driven. Everything is about social justice with them, even when it came down to the fundamental duties of doing their jobs as coders and all and every other aspect of Twitter. It's all about social justice.
Yeah, here, right here. Twitter, whatever. I'm just gonna read the headline. Twitter Musk accused of systemic gender bias against women. The mass layoffs and constructive discharges that have hit Twitter Incorporated since Elon Musk bought the company have impacted female employees to a significantly greater degree than male workers. A new class action lawsuit charges. So yeah, they're trying to get him from that angle.
The
Trying
left
to,
is screaming and kicking right now. They lost their one up on the right. They lost it. Now we're all on an even keel. Now we're all on an even keel, and it's an even fight. And
nah,
they are well, almost when it comes to social media. Now that Twitter's an open platform, now they are scared shitless.
I gotta push back, man.
Go ahead.
Twitter is still not an open platform by any means necessary. I mean, it's a little. I mean, he let some people back on. He let Jordan Peterson back. He let this actor dude or whatever that they had him off. They had Project Veritas back. Certain accounts he's gotten back, but there's certain people that he's have been banned since him being in Twitter. So I don't think. I mean, I was talking about this. This is on off topic, but kind of related. Well, Elon Musk, I mean, he's seeking out government contracts, right? People think that Elon Musk for some reason is against the government. He's trying to give people their voice back, this and that. He's revealing things in these Twitter files about, FBI, ex-FBI workers being in there. Fauci's daughter was working in there as well. I mean, a
That was a
big,
bombshell. That was a bombshell. Fauci's daughter working.
yeah, pre-pandemic during that whole, thing that's going in there. And this guy, he just released with SpaceX, I forget what it's called,
I mean, the corruption
Starshield.
runs deep. It runs deep.
But I'm just saying, we have to be cautious with Elon Musk. I think these are the things that happen is that people they get excited about somebody and they blindly want to follow him. It's like Trump. Trump, he's done some good things. He's also done some bad things. We can't, hide the truth. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say there's nobody that's infallible, but Elon Musk, he has his hands way too deep into, defense contracts and things of that nature to really be going against the government and the so-called deep state and all that stuff. I'm not too into the political realm of it, but I'm more of a skeptic of Elon Musk. Cool, bring on the technology and all that stuff, but once it starts getting political and it has an agenda behind it, I got to start questioning things, all right?
I mean, it's all a cult of personality, you know. I mean, you get it on. I mean, you get it with athletes, you know. It's like everybody like, oh, the right sees Elon as the savior to free speech, which we see that he's not a free speech absolutist like he so-called claimed. But the deep and like what you said, him being connected to Department of Defense through his contracts for SpaceX and um, I think is Starlink under SpaceX? I believe so, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's how SpaceX started. It was the government giving him that money. So they got their claws into everything, as we've seen with Twitter, with the Twitter lawyer James Baker, who was connected to the Russian investigation, also a close friend to Hillary Clinton. So after he left the FBI, how's he get a freaking job on the Twitter board? How does Fauci's daughter have a job at Twitter? This is all kind of like a honeypot, you know? It's like they want an FBI agent, he leaves this and then gets a job at a social media company on some board or some energy company. I mean, this is not new, but like I was saying before, it seems like they can't hide it as well as they used to. That's because the freedom to disseminate information throughout the internet, like you can't stop it all. You can't stop it all. I mean, there's always back channel to get that information out there. And then when that information is out there, they call you conspiracy theorist or something like that to try to discredit you. And
Yeah.
that's what they do. They characters they try to assassinate your character, put you on the like in the corner and be like, yeah, yeah, he believes all this crazy shit. He's a QAnon believer or he's a Trumper or anything like just trying to discredit you. Like before how they used like those buzz terms, white supremacist, racist, in order to discredit people, and that would silence them. That no longer works. So now they have to do it a different way.
It
And
works. I think,
not
believe it or
so,
not, man, it works. I think, believe it or not, it still works because right now, I mean, we're on one side of the spectrum. I think we're a little bit more open than most, and we're willing to question things, right? But I think for the majority of the people of the United States, when they hear these terms, people watch the media and they trust CNN, they trust all these other news sources. I mean, they're easily persuaded. I mean,
it's true.
why? So I think I gotta push back. I think people are easily persuaded using these key terms. If not, it wouldn't be used still. They would have used some other key terms. They would use some other tactic to attack people. You know what I mean? So
I mean, but they don't carry the weight they used to, you know? I mean, calling a Kanye West or Alan, uh, was it the guy who ran for governor in California? I can't think of his name. I keep on forgetting his name. Uh, was his Larry? Well, the black dude who ran for governor of California.
Oh,
He was a radio host or whatever. And they call him the black face of white supremacy. They call Candace Owens
oh yeah,
white.
Candace always has gotten some hate for sure.
Oh no, I believe me, I'm not a big Candace Owens fan. She kind of annoys me. She comes off as like a snooty person, you know. I'm like, very snooty. Like I'm not a Ben Shapiro
Larry
fan either.
Elder.
Larry Elder, there we go. And
That's the California guy.
can you? I think it was the L.A. Times. They call it the black face of white supremacy. That's what they do. I mean, if you're calling black people white supremacists,
It's okay.
or like you're kind of losing the plot, you know.
Yeah, let me share this real quick. Damn, dude, I can't believe that's an actual article.
It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, here we go. Column. Larry Elder is the black face of white supremacy. You've been warned. Wow.
Because he's a conservative black male who doesn't believe in abortion and he believes in gun rights. So he that makes him a white supremacist. So that's why I'm saying like it's losing its like they throw around so freely now, it's losing its weight.
I mean, this is crazy, dude. He leaned forward to gaze across the room of white Republicans who had come to hear him speak at Orange County. I mean, damn, dude, this language right here, just white Republicans, like, damn, dude, like,
The left can be racist. They could look. That's why it's called people of color. White people
oh
aren't
yeah,
included. It's people of color. It's everybody else, and then there's white people, and that's what they're doing. And it's supposed to be okay. That's what they're doing, and they're doing it in campuses. They do it. They're doing it in they do it in grammar schools in certain cities. It's it's insane.
yeah,
It's
that's
insane.
like that lady at Rutgers that I sent you the article.
Yeah, Brittany Cooper saying that we got to take these white people out, and she's
Take
a
these whites
professor,
out.
and she's
Yeah,
still employed by the great state of New Jersey. That just shows,
tax-paying dollars going
yeah,
into her pocket to
yeah,
spread that speech and to your kids' ears and hold
motherfucker.
their minds like that.
Reverend Al fucking Sharpton has a spot on MSNBC. Al Sharpton. If you could go back and you could find some of his greatest hits, man. He's in the shit he said. All of a sudden now, Al Sharpton's a standard bearer of Democratic policies. But that's the MSNBC viewer. They on MSNBC they love to hate on white people. That when they had what's her name, Tiffany Cross, they just fired her recently because she went overboard talking shit on white people. Joy Reid, everything is racist, white people bad, and all this is divisive. I mean, this doesn't happen on the right. You don't see any talk shows talking about evil black people. They do talk about the illegal immigration problem, but they don't say, it's a problem. It's black people coming over the border. It's Muslims. It's you name it. Asians. It's not just one race. It's people flooding the border, and they would say that is racist. Just because you want a closed border, you are racist. That's how they play with these words, and a lot of it's losing weight. The only reason I'm gonna get like the only reason why I think they won a lot of these elections is ballot harvesting, bro. It's the
The
only reason
Georgia
why.
one is crazy.
Tell me how the governor Brian Kemp he wins handily against Stacey Abrams, a black woman, super progressive, her second go around against for the Georgia governor race. He blows her out by what 4 or 5 points, but somehow Raphael Warnock beats Herschel Walker about what's it 1 percentage point? Just how the last Georgia runoff for Senate elections was decided by 1 point. Trump lost Georgia by 1 point. Tell me that ain't rigged, bro.
I don't know about rigged, but I definitely find that a little
The
sus.
Georgia governor, he's a friend of the deep state. Kemp. Trump called him. He's like, find these votes for him. And when Trump had that call, which was wrong, it
Yeah.
sounded like it was totally wrong. I would say that didn't sound right. Like it was like Trump shouldn't have been calling up any fucking governor and telling anybody to fucking handle this. No, like he shouldn't have. So Kemp, he's a part of the Uniparty. He's a part of that deep state cabal. You know, they're like, all right, you're good. You could keep your position of power. But Walker against Warnock, nope. And you see, like in Carrie Lake out in Arizona for governorship, she lost by what? About a point,
But
one
see, but
point.
this is what pisses me off, and this is why I don't even vote anymore. Like it's just like
I,
you feel like it's a losing battle.
yeah, yeah.
Like
It,
like
honestly,
I
it is. I think
really,
it's all rigged. Like I'm at the point where I really think it's all rigged because the Democrats
you're
are
in
stupid.
Jersey. Like you can never win with your vote. You know
Well,
how
actually,
much Jersey.
my vote, I feel this my vote this year actually, I like to feel like it actually did something because we did flip my district here in Jersey. But other than that, he's a legacy. His family was on the original Continental Congress. That's how far his family goes back. His family is like the Livingstons and all like yeah, they come from like the
Oh, the guy
freaking
in your district?
yeah, Tom Keene Jr. Keene University is named after like his great grandfather or
Oh
something.
shit!
Yeah, he's a Dartmouth alum. He checks all the right boxes for elitism.
And you're proud of that? You fucking and you won that guy? You got him in office? What do you?
I mean, what else I was gonna get? Tom Malinowski, fucking a super crazy radical Democrat.
I don't know, man. You're in Jersey. Jersey's
Honestly,
fucked.
but I was thinking about trying to make the like go libertarian and try to start a libertarian movement in Jersey, man.
Might work.
Maybe there's a lot of like-minded people out there.
Yeah, I don't
People are
think.
just sick and tired of both sides.
Yeah, dude, there needs to be another party, another popular party to choose
Yeah.
between. There needs to be an option C. Right now, there's too
But
much.
both sides are fucked, bro. Both sides are fucked because when the Green Party runs on like a ticket anywhere else, the Democrats want them off the
Yeah,
ballot. And if the Libertarians run on like certain states, the Republicans want the Libertarians off the ballot. So that's the uniparty. Like fuck, like not letting everybody else in the game. It's not fair. It's not fair. And it's like
it's fucked.
they're pissing on us and like just want us to accept it.
Yep, and it's all becoming public. I mean, these Twitter files kind of like highlights exactly how deep this shit
Yeah.
goes.
I mean, they
Manipulation.
blacklisted people. They had lists of conservatives that what do they call? I forgot the exact terminology they used, but we like to use shadow ban.
They would no, the shadow ban is a word actually that they used for sure, and blacklist as well. Here's the this is the Twitter files. This is part two, and it's literally about what we are just talking about, the secret blacklists and how they were targeting conservative channels, and then yeah, it even highlighted the fact that an ex FBI a guy that worked in the FBI.
James Baker, the lawyer who's connected to the whole Russian collusion shit with Trump, James Baker.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
after he resigned from the FBI, I think they found out he did some type exactly what it was. He did resign over something with the whole Russian investigation.
Yeah, here we go.
Then he
Twitter
ends up on the board
files.
at Twitter, and he becomes one of the most important people at Twitter.
Yep, Twitter files. James Baker exemplifies a revolving door between government liberal groups. Oh, I gotta shut this off. Between government liberal groups and big tech. Elon Musk fired Baker following revelations of his involvement with the suppression of the Hunter Biden laptop story. And that's only just one story. We don't even know what else. Because apparently they're finding that a lot of files were actually deleted prior to the company being handed off to Elon Musk. Um, but yeah, man, this thing is pretty starting. And
And
actually,
it's
we get a preview of this new feature that Elon Musk is gonna come out with, which is basically showing if you've been shadow banned, if you've any strikes against your account and things of that nature. Here's like a little preview showing what that new feature is gonna look like more or less, and people are gonna be able to see like what their accounts have been going through.
I mean it's more transparency. Like you were saying, like we both agree Elon Musk is not a free speech absolutist. He does have some things to consider. I mean, look at when these advertisers started pulling their ads. Be like, oh, misinformation on the platform, hate speech, which is all bullshit. We saw like he has to walk the line. he could step off of it a little bit, but he has to stay on it somewhat. But you
Yeah.
saw he did go to Apple. He did go to the Apple headquarters, and Apple's back in advertising. So is a bunch of other companies.
It's because he wanted for some reason, he was beefing with them about the amount that they charge per transaction on their platform. And he literally admitted that he misunderstood the terms and apologized. And but this is after, going on a spiel on social media, on Twitter, on his own platform. So I think that's he's
But
a
I
part.
think what I think how he's doing the Twitter drops, the Twitter files. I love it.
Nah,
Giving it
yeah.
off to like these
The drip.
independent.
Yeah, he's doing a drip of the information because people they can't really go through large amounts of data, and then people have short attention spans. So if this thing lasts one
I'm
in a week, you know what I mean? People are gonna be fucking on it. They're gonna be like, oh, this week, it's like episodes. You know what I mean? Instead of watching one movie, we have a series now.
And I watched was it CNN or MSNBC? And it was last week after it was like Monday they were doing. It's like, oh, what he said after the first Twitter dropped on, I believe it was Saturday. And then he's like, "Oh, second drop's coming tomorrow." It didn't come on Sunday, so
No,
Monday, CNN and all of them, they were like, "Oh, I guess it's nothing going on. I guess he has nothing else." And all the people on Twitter, like Brooklyn Dad Defiant, all these fucking asshole leftists, like, "Oh, I guess it's a big nothing burger. Elon couldn't find anything else." Da, 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 da. And now, boom, boom, boom. NSA collusion, FBI collusion, uh, freaking banning Trump for no reason at all. You saw what the reason was for banning Trump and anybody adjacent to Trump.
I actually
They said,
still haven't even sifted through this recent drop. But here it is. Thread the Twitter files, the removal of Donald Trump. And this is just part one. So this is the third of the Twitter files, but this is, part one of it. October 2020 to January 6th.
these lefty fucks, they justified it. They're like, oh, his actions by him and his supporters the last 4 years justified this ban. That's what it was one of the communications. I forget who it was with. It might have been Yoel Roth or I forget who, one of those Twitter employees. That's what they were saying. They're, no, the way he's acted, it justifies the ban. And they're like, are we actually banning a sitting statesman?
Oh no, that was insane actually. That was really insane. The fact that an acting president
Acting president.
was taken off of a social media platform and a company that exists in the United States. I would understand if it was like TikTok or something. Like, all right, that makes sense. Whatever.
Look what they
Because
did to
it's
Parler.
Chinese.
Look what they did to Parler after that. They took it out of the App Store, everything. They destroyed Parler.
AWS, Amazon too. Amazon was taking off any of these conservative applications. And they were like, because these applications have to be hosted somewhere, and AWS is the number one in cloud computing, and they literally took them off, and they were like, yeah, you can't host your stuff. So then they had to go running to find a platform to actually host their stuff, which is wrong because I mean, you want to start a business, you want to be an entrepreneur,
That's a
and
fucking
if
monopoly. It's a
you know
monopoly.
what I mean? And it's just like because of your belief system and your belief system, but because you're allowing freedom of speech on your platform, now we're gonna deplatform your platform because it's not like what do you do? Like, are you serious right now? Like,
And
that
then
was crazy.
they're what they consider freedom of speech is like or hate speech. Like anything could be hate speech, or you could call somebody like you could say something like you're transphobic. That's considered hate speech, or you can't say anything. You can't say like the word fag or anything like that. You can't say any of that. That'd be considered hate speech to these people. They don't respect freedom of speech. That's why I said these people aren't Americans. They are globalists. They don't hold any of the values that we Americans hold. Like that the old Twitter, the head of Twitter, what's her name? Um I can't think of it. Pachelia Jayapal or whatever her fucking name is. The Indian chick who used to be the head of Twitter, the
Oh,
lawyer.
yeah, yeah.
She doesn't hold American values. The former Twitter CEO, the other Indian dude, he doesn't hold American values. He was not an American citizen. These people are coming from other countries with their value. They don't have the same values we have here. In India, you could be censored for anything. In almost everywhere else, England, they don't have freedom of speech. It's it's like, come on. And these are the people you're putting ahead of your social media platforms. People who don't understand the concept of Americanism, freedom of speech. Like, what was it? The NAA, was it then, or that Jewish group that they defended the neo Nazis' right to march and spew
Oh,
whatever they said. I think it was no, the ADL. My bad, the Anti Defamation League.
there you
They
go.
defended neo Nazis, bro, and that was like in the 70s, 80s for their right to be able to march and spout their beliefs. Eh, They don't do that now.
Hold on, let me share with you an article. I don't even know if you're aware of this one right here. This might be a little gem for you. Facebook owner Meta may remove news from platform if U.S. Congress passes media bill. And just to summarize it, they were essentially saying if Congress passes that, that means that the government is going to have this little committee and they're going to be able to disseminate what news or information gets put on that platform. And they said, nope, we're not for it. You guys are not going to control. And if you guys are going to do that, we're just going to take it off completely. Like news in general will just be taken down. So make your decision, which is powerful. It's a powerful statement to be made. I mean, this is the
I believe
number
they
one.
dropped that already. I believe they dropped that because of that threat by Meta.
Yeah, man, this is
Yeah, they dropped it real quick. They dropped it real quick.
yeah.
But
So
then
this
again, I mean, from what we've heard, even from Zuckerberg's own mouth when he went on Rogan, is that the FBI already fucking controls what we see or what we don't. Before the Hunter Biden laptop was dropped, they went to all these big companies. They were like, "Oh, get ready for some Russian disinformation." And then, from what I heard, between like their was it called Slack or their backrooms communications, the FBI had a direct connection to all the people at the top. So that we're not going to get all their communications that they've had. I think it was Yoel Roth. Some of his Slack communications were revealed that he was meeting with was it DHS, NSA, the
yeah,
FBI.
the FBI and DHS. Yeah,
Yeah, and he was saying to somebody else, "I'm so not going to meet with the FBI right now." Ha ha, like doing these like stupid little jokes.
yeah. I'm gonna share it right now. So
These
take
people
this
don't
to.
understand. Yeah, it might feel good right now while you've weaponized the FBI and all that. Just wait till it turns around and bites you in the fucking ass when the shoe's on the other foot. It's not going to be pretty. The snapback's always greater.
Yeah, so right here it says right here shows that Roth not only met weekly with FBI and DHS, but with the Office of the Director of National Intelligence.
And that's not the first time. It's not the first time, and honestly, probably won't be the last time. I'm sure Elon's going to be meeting with them as well. But you see now that the whole Biden's weaponized the Justice Department to go after Elon. They've
Yeah.
opened up investigations into Tesla, into Twitter. I mean, so blatant obvious. So blatant obvious.
Yeah, that's how come I have my concern though with Elon Musk and seeking government contracts and all that stuff because he's looking like it looks like he's seeking that money from them. It looks like he's trying to get into that group maybe, and maybe he's doing all this. This is just me just being playing devil's advocate and being a skeptic. It's like maybe he's doing this to show how much power he has if they don't give him money to hush him up. Like he essentially wants hush money, kind of like blackmailing them like, hey, I'm gonna reveal your secrets and I already have a huge platform of people that are like religiously believe in whatever Elon does. I mean, they buy the Tesla, they're gonna get the chip in their brain and all that stuff. I mean, literally people just blindly trust this man. So
Or, I mean,
okay.
yeah, I could see that him being like the pale horse to bring in like let's say what was that the new the Federal Bank Reserve what was it CC whatever I can't think of the name right now. That the Fed coin or whatever. Neuralink. He could be the pale horse to like really get us into that whole globalist, transhumanist, freaking AI centered reality. He could be. What I think right now Elon is doing, he's got his money from the government. He already got all his startup money. His companies are going. I mean, They're using SpaceX rockets to put to bring supplies and everything up to the space station and whatnot. NASA's not handling that anymore. I believe it's just Musk and the other guy, Robert Bigelow. I think he's the only other person who's really messing with rockets right now. NASA's not even doing it.
Well, no, you got what's his name? Jeff Bezos with his company.
Oh yeah, yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, I think it's Blue or something like that. I forgot what the name of it is,
Blue
but yeah, it's
Origin.
not. It doesn't have that much
It's
media
not
hype.
SpaceX. It's not SpaceX.
Yeah, nah, it's not. But I just find it interesting. Because here I'm just gonna share a couple of government contracts that Elon Musk has have. So here we have $102 million by the Air Force. Then we have another. This one's by the Pentagon. This one's 160 million. And then to do manned missions in the rocket, um, we're gonna see the total here. 1.4 billion. That's what it be, people. $1 billion. And these are taxpaying dollars because this is NASA. This is publicly funded. We allocate our budget of our tax dollars to go to NASA and for them to spend it, as they please. So, and then with the latest launch of his Starshield, look, supporting national security. I mean, what is his agenda? I'm not sure, but this doesn't make me feel good, even though companies already do this. Starshield launches satellites with sensing payloads and delivers processed data directly to users. This laser communication, which is actually a new technology. So, like right now, Wi Fi uses radio waves and all that stuff. This is using lasers. So, it's faster,
That's
way
pretty sick.
faster. Yeah,
That's
it's new technology. It's being released so that way the defense community could use this. And not too many companies can offer this, but I just like I said, I'm skeptic. I'm a skeptic. I don't really want to give this man too
I
much
mean,
power.
this reeks of military industrial complex. So right now, what SpaceX is, it's an extension of the Star Wars program that Reagan started talking about back in the 80s. They were talking about this in the 80s, the Star Wars program. They wanted to set up satellites
Well, your
everywhere.
boy, well, your boy Donald Trump. This is why I say Donald Trump. He's the
Space
one
Force,
who
babe.
did space. He did space. The Space Force.
Yeah, I mean, that's the I would say, the military industrial complex agenda in the next, like for global supremacy. It's space. We master space. That's it. That's it. We
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
had it. We don't have it mastered right now. We have competition from, I think, almost everybody. I think India's sending rockets up.
Yeah, but
Iran,
they don't even go in outer space, man. Yeah, I mean, this is a joke what everybody else has. I think if
China,
anything, China has
China's.
some good stuff.
I mean, Russia's still. I mean,
Russia's
Russia's still.
laughable as
Yeah.
well. There's not too many people like us. Like we're the ones that are really doing it up when it comes to rockets, when it comes to going in outer space and stuff. So I think, yeah, I think we have it in terms of that. I think we have it in terms of technology for right now. Um, like
But
what
do you
really
see Elon as untouchable almost? Like, kind of think about it. Trump.
untouchable? No.
Think about the whole. I think the left realized. I mean, they did realize how important Twitter was when Obama got elected because the platform did help him. And then Trump utilized Twitter, and then you've seen how that kind of probably put him over the threshold, just having that exposure to everybody. That's why they went in there. They started shadow banning conservatives. That's why they attacked Trump so vehemently. It's it seems like it's all connected to suppressing the population's knowledge of what's going on. It's they don't want us to know everything. Maybe we shouldn't. And Trump, I mean, that's one of the biggest things for him. He told the truth. He fucking told the truth. Like when he was in Syria, like why are we still in Syria? He's like, well, there's a lot of oil. Yeah, we're gonna keep soldiers here for that oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told the truth when he shouldn't have, and he lied when he fucking shouldn't have. It's he just couldn't be controlled, and that's why they freaking went
Yeah,
after
loose
Trump.
cannons. I mean, these
And
people
that's
don't really need the money from the government. which I think
No,
I think that's one of the most
they
important
cannot be
things
bought. They cannot be bought.
between Elon Musk and Donald Trump is these people already have money. It's like you can't really buy them like you were saying. They have other things on their mind. So they kind of just say whatever off the cuff thing that because they know at the end of the day my family will eat, right? So once you have the money, you could kind of just do whatever and go against whoever. Politicians go into politics for some reason and they become millionaires.
That's from
How is
inside.
that a
That's
thing?
insider trading right there, man. Because you see with Pelosi, and her husband. All of a sudden, they make the bet. They make better stock trades than Warren Buffett. That's fucking insane.
Oh yeah, they have a high percentage of success, and it's made public. So if
Yeah,
I would actually implore people to follow the trades that our politicians are making and try it out, see if it's successful or not. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's wrap up this segment here with some closing thoughts. We still haven't gotten into the trade, the horrible trade between Biden and Russia.
you're going to be surprised with my take on that one. But my closing thoughts on this whole Elon Twitter thing. I mean, it's going to get a little more spicier. We're going to find out. I mean, we found out what we already knew. We all knew that this was going on, but we had everybody lying to our face and saying we're fucking stupid. That it's not going on. So now it's just been,
Conspiracy theorists.
yeah,
It was a speculation. Now we have the facts and the proof.
yeah. So now it's confirmed, and now we have Elon who's trying to level the playing field when it comes to the reach of conservatives and liberals on well, at least Twitter, because I think Facebook is still pretty fucked, and so is YouTube and all that. So we're gonna see how this goes, and I think it's gonna be bombshell after bombshell, but I don't think it's gonna change anything because the media's in bed with the FBI and with the Democratic Party, and they're just gonna blow this under the rug, just like they did with everything else. What
Yep.
about you,
So
Phil?
well, I think it's going to be more of the same. I don't think really anything is fundamentally going to change because, this thing is older than time. People want to manipulate the masses for their own agenda. Whether it's the government's agenda or it's Elon's agenda, somebody always wants to be at the top and they want to be the ones reaping all the benefits while everybody else, gets the scraps. So it is what it is. I mean, just be aware of it. Just don't get played too much by it. Just keep working because at the end of the day, it's all about people and their families putting food on the table and keeping them safe. We could just be aware of these things and we really can't, fight back. Just, be prepared to keep your family safe and all that stuff. But yeah, we'll be back and let's talk about this horrible trade between the US and Russia.
All right, so we got to talk about this Brittany Garner trade. I swear to God, I think Biden's been taking his fucking cues from the Knicks because this is one of the worst fucking trades I've ever seen in my life. They
100%.
fucking trading Victor Bout for freaking Brittany Garner.
Yeah, the Merchant of Death. Let's call him by his
The
nickname.
Merchant
You know
of
the
Death.
movie Lord of War with Nicolas Cage?
Great movie.
It was made after this guy.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
I mean,
fucking
he's very
crazy.
industrious. You got to respect that. He started off selling just, his simple fucking handguns and machetes
Machetes.
to African
Yeah.
rebels. Like, think about how many fucking poor Africans have got their fucking heads chopped off. The good old Victor fucking Bout. And then
Hmm.
we're going to go to the rest of the shit. He was funding conflicts in the Middle East. I believe he was trying to sell missiles to the Taliban and to kill Americans. I mean, this guy was a mess.
Yeah,
But from what I
he
heard, I mean,
was.
he was about to get out pretty soon anyway. I believe he had what, like a 25-year stint, right?
Let's check it out. I mean,
It,
what?
yeah, I believe he was going to get out pretty soon anyway. But he wasn't Putin's first choice, from what I'm hearing. I heard that Putin wanted a former Russian general who's currently locked up for murder. Putin wanted him, but Biden wouldn't give him.
Let's see. He's 55 years old. He pled from 2008. Yeah, I don't see anything where it says he was serving a 50-year prison term. Oh
Oh,
no, it said Bout supplied guns to the now serving. Yeah, I don't know, dude. This thing. Either the thing is that we were really, really smart, or we were extremely stupid and naive with this trade. Because I found this other article that basically said like he worked with the U.S. Like some Pentagon contractors used Bell to fly an estimated 1,000 supply trips into and out of Iraq, according to the Merchant of Death. Yeah, so
That shows you the corruption of the deep state, the military industrial complex. There's not anybody they wouldn't work with. I mean, you had Fast and Furious, where I believe it was the DEA under Eric Holder were supplying the Mexican cartels with heavy machine guns. I mean, machine guns, and
yeah.
it was traced back to them. Once I think it was a border agent was killed by one of those guns that was supplied by the freaking Eric Holder and his corrupt ass department. So it's nothing new. Like whatever Victor Bout, I mean, if he was working with the American government, I guess he would work with any government. He's a free agent.
So that's
So
what I'm thinking is like it. All right. So from the extremely smart perspective, is this guy was talked with, CIA, whoever, and then is basically now somebody that's going to infiltrate Russia, right, and be an intel asset, right? Like he's going to be a human boots on the ground intel asset, right?
could be possible. A
And
double agent.
yeah, because this guy, it looks like he just really cares about money, right? Like he's for hire. Like he's literally he doesn't care who he's selling arms to. I mean, if you watch the movie Lord of War, I mean, it's literally about that. He doesn't care what the side is. He just care whether that he's gonna get a check at the end of the day. You know what
He
I mean?
sold them to both sides in some conflicts. He's like, yeah,
Exactly. So this guy, he could literally be a spy for the U.S. And but the fucked up thing is that all right, she was imprisoned
wrongfully imprisoned. She broke
wrongfully.
Russian
I
law.
wouldn't say
She broke
wrongfully.
Russian law. But
She
honestly,
broke Russian law. We can't shit on another government. We can't really shit on another government and their whole set of rules. You know what I mean? Because people, I mean, I guess we could, verbally speak shit about it, but that's
but a
their
country that
rules.
has the highest per capita like prison population, whatever. I mean, maybe we shouldn't be condemning other people's laws, but under
100%.
a little vape cartridge, I mean,
But why would you do that?
maybe, dude, she's been playing in Russia for a while. I'm sure she's got away with bringing that shit in before.
Dude, I look, man, the whole thing is that we had this military vet in there, the Marine, and apparently he was caught stealing some documents or whatever, getting intel from the Russian government, and then they locked him up. And like it's like, bro, come on. He was somebody who
Both of them are equally stupid. Let's just say that.
I mean, what happens if the Marine dude was doing enough, for us, for our government interests? He just got
What I
caught
heard,
red-handed.
the Marine, what's his name, Whalen, I believe his last name is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He had three citizenships. He had one
Oh,
for
wheeling. Yep.
Canada, one for the UK, and I believe the United States, or maybe another one. But he had three different citizenships, so he could have been a spy.
Yeah, I mean, he was caught.
Most
So
likely a spy. And if you get caught being a spy, bro, you deserve to die a traitor's death. Or I like saying that's my favorite line from freaking The Patriot. I love it.
that was a good movie.
Great movie, great movie.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, nah, but calling people spies, I mean, that's like the whole Julian Assange thing. You have, these whistleblowers. You kind of get labeled the same label and all that stuff. Like, you got to be
Trump's
careful.
got railroaded by the establishment because he reached out to I believe it's the intelligence agencies, like, hey, we're about to have a dump. He's like he was trying to protect any agents in the fields before that happened.
Who?
Assange, yeah,
Okay,
he
okay,
reached
yeah.
out before. He wanted to work with them to prevent anybody from getting hurt.
Assange is a good guy, man. Assange is a good guy in my book. And
But it's
he, if anything, is a representation of freedom of speech.
yeah,
And he's not even a U.S. citizen. And the U.S. wants him to be sent over here to then be charged. It's like, bro, he's not even a citizen. Like, your laws do not apply to this man. Like, what are you doing? And it's just, I don't know.
it
Edward.
shows like it's all a game. It really is. I mean, even like with this Brittany Garner trade for the Merchant of Death. I mean, On the front side, it seems like we got railroaded. Like we got the short end of the stick. We got back a 6'8" lesbian basketball player, and they get a freaking arms merchant, probably with a shit ton of connections still within Eastern Europe and the Middle East and other places as well, and would probably get back into the game once he establishes himself in Russia. I'm sure Putin will utilize him. You're not gonna. You just got your freedom. Now you're gonna have to earn it.
Yeah.
But the bigger political fallout from this, I would probably be positive for Biden, and if anything, because I mean he spends his whole presidency pandering to the left and the black community and the gay community and all that. He panders, so this is a win for him with his progressives. I mean she checks all the boxes. She's a lesbian. She hates America. She's black. She checks all those boxes. So why not? This optically for Biden, this is good for his side. This is going to raise his approval with his progressive base. That's what I see it as. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's kind of a
his
win
side
for
hates the
him.
military, so
Yeah, yeah, the people that fight to protect them from getting their freaking iPhones, their MacBooks, their Coach purses, their Balenciaga.
the people
Like,
that give provide them the freedoms that let them go to college and get indoctrinated by communism, that let them go out and fucking attack conservatives who are going to anti-abortion rallies. The people in the military defend their right to be able to go do that to other people. Because in any other country, you wouldn't be able to go around just randomly attacking people like that, bro. You would get fucking done in, bro.
you know what's crazy now that I'm thinking about it? Why is it that the military veterans aren't more active in politics? Like I'm not talking about running for office or anything like that, but I mean like really genuinely being pissed off when they see the Constitution being shitted on. What
Well,
like
there's a few.
there's a few. Thank you. There's a few. There's
I
an
mean,
army out there, literally, of them. You literally like, what do you? Where are you? You know what I mean? Like,
because
you
most
literally.
veterans like myself are fucking just disgusted with the government. Yeah, we are. Like
So why not?
I was all gun ho after like 9/11, bro. I was indoctrinated through mainstream pop propaganda like you would not believe. Like I was telling you the other day when we started shock and awe on fucking Iraq and the
Yeah,
invasion of Afghanistan. I was hooked to CNN and all that every day. I was watching war movies left and right,
it
playing
was a
war games.
movie.
Huh?
They presented it as entertainment almost.
Yeah, I mean that's what they did like after World War II with a whole bunch of like war movies and to drum up support for Vietnam and Korea and shit like that.
Propaganda.
Yeah, but it's propaganda.
Yeah.
And I bought into it. I joined up and I want to go kill terrorists and all that. And then I saw loose change. I saw Fahrenheit 9/11. I saw,
Yeah.
start seeing these things. I was like, wait a second, something doesn't smell right? And
Yeah.
then I saw like how they introduced the Patriot Act and they were spying on us. They used the whole terrorist attacks to like pretty much infringe on our rights. It was
Yeah. Always remember Building 7 fell in New York. Not just the Twin Towers, but Building 7 also.
and this was all planned. This was all planned. I believe was it Rumsfeld? It might have been Donald Rumsfeld who brought out I forget the it was some I'll get I can't remember the name of the report, but he gave a name of countries that they should invade. It was Libya, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, and I think a couple other like African countries, maybe like Sudan or something like that. And so this is all planned by the globalists. This is all planned. Like I said, there's no they don't want nation states. They don't want a national identity. And why would they make like with this whole Griner thing? Why would they make the support and like a Marine? They rather do the whole it poll and everything. Their greater agenda. And
They're pandering to their base, is that they would say.
yeah, and I don't even. It's not even their base. It's not like they speak to just the American woke, uh, progressive. It's like the European. It's a whole like cultural thing. It's like a different subculture within the United States culture, as I see it. It's uh, it's in all these Western countries. You look at France, England, all the Western European countries. They have the same problems with these really progressive left socialists. It's a problem there. Canada, same thing. Problem here. I mean, you had what's his name? Emmanuel Macron. He not too long ago he came out and told the French people, like, we don't want this American wokeness exported to France because it ruins nationalism and all this. So people like this is a sickness
But
that's
nationalism also, I mean, it could be a little toxic.
it could be.
It could be a little toxic. You know what I
I
mean?
think
Because
Hitler
then,
showed us that.
you know
You
what I
know, I
mean?
mean,
Yeah, yeah. So we gotta also
but
fit.
right
We
now, I
gotta hit
mean,
the brakes
but
on that.
the adverse is just as bad, if not worse, because you know what, nationalism, you might go invade another country or something like that. People start losing faith in their country and their government, they start hating it, like we do see with the left. They hate this country. They hate everything it stands for. They hate the founding. They even write their own pseudo histories with, was it the 1619 Project? They write their own pseudo histories about this country. Like, it wasn't founded, blah, 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 blah. It was founded when the first slaves came. The slaves built, like,
Not the
yes,
Puritans.
the slaves had a big part in helping build this country, and it was fucked up. It was forced.
Huge. Yeah.
Huge, huge.
They were the workforce.
Yeah. And anybody's like, hey, blacks had the, just as much as right as anybody else, if to be here. Like, they've earned it if anybody did.
100%. Yeah.
They got railroaded, and I mean, they got fucked over with the 100 acres and the mule thing. But that's just all that grievance. It was prime for people to start implementing communism into the black community, and we saw that with the civil rights movement, and it festered over into the academic area. And now you see a whole bunch of woke white kids going out saying, you know, oh, Black Lives Matter, right? The Black Power fist, which is the communist fist. This is the commie fist, and it's indoctrination. We have a subset of people in this country. They are not Americans. They are communist globalists looking to establish a new world order under a progressive socialist agenda.
I mean,
It's
what the?
just
Hold on. Let's break this down though. Like, what? Because the other day I think I came across something that was basically like, what is it to be American, right? Like, like if you had to say like this is what an American is, and let's say American goes to like, I don't know, France or something like that, or you go to China, or you go, like what makes an American an American? Because
a lot of other countries perceive us as like uncouth freaking Neanderthals with no culture. Like, especially like in Western Europe. I've gotten to like a couple, in Clubhouse and everything, and some of these people from like Britain and shit like that, they they think they're above Americans. They think they're intellectually superior and everything. They think they're at the apex of the Western civilization. A lot of these people still believe it.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like when you think about, I don't know, people from other countries, you can kind of
Freedom,
come
man.
up with
I
a
think
picture.
freedom,
You
rowdy,
can.
rough, raw. Like, we're gonna, I mean, think about it. America. We have how many different dialects? We have how many different
That's what I'm saying. It's really how. What's the identity,
a
right?
mishmash, bro. We're a mishmash. I mean, we're our own thing, man. We're our own thing. I mean, England, I mean, you might have different slang, let's say in Birmingham, and then different slang down in London. But here, man, I mean, it's insane. You go down south, you get totally different slangs and speech patterns and cultural differences between whites and blacks. Like, you go to a black southerner and then you go to a black northerner, totally different cultures. Same thing with a white. Same thing with a Hispanic. A Hispanic that's lived, let's say, down in Texas is going to totally be different than a Hispanic from Jersey City, Union City.
Yeah.
It's, it's a mishmash, and that's what it's always been. And we always try to embrace it, I believe. Not always, but the American thing is like a nation of immigrants. We're accepting now, not we weren't always, as we know how they did the Irish and everything, and the Chinese and
Yeah, the Japanese, World War II, Pearl
oh, that
Harbor.
that was that was wartime. I mean, they
It's
those
okay. It's okay.
I like,
Internment camps, yeah.
honestly, at a time like that, what do you do? Right now we know, like, let's say if we went to war with China. Let's get on this one real quick. If we went to war with China,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say put the Chinese in camps. I'm not going to say that. I don't want to say that on Would you mass surveil Chinese citizens?
No.
I would, just like we did with 9/11, how we mass surveil Muslim citizens. And like during the Cold War, anybody with a Russian background, they were fucking tracked by the FBI and everybody else, you know?
I
I
don't know.
understand.
There's like the moral conflict there with doing that. I understand the strategy behind it, but there's a moral, ethical thing because
I
they're
mean,
your
that's
own
a,
citizens and things of that nature. So it's kind of like there has to be
in
a
a
better
time
way,
of
man.
war. Like I said, in a time of war. But right now, what they're doing is they're drumming up bullshit to justify their infringement on our freedoms and on our privacy. That's
Yeah,
what they're
that's how
doing.
come I'm all for the whole Web 3.0, which seems is like slowly trickling out. Like everybody's talking about Twitter and everything, and I'm like, people are also talking about Mastodon.
I
Like,
won't go on Mastodon. Fuck that.
you see, but it's a Web 3.0 application. Like it literally is. Everybody has their identity validated, right? And what you say is what you say, and you could trace it back to an individual. You have ownership over your content, over the
Well,
things
isn't
that you
that
put out.
like Twitter Blues kind of like that too?
I never heard of Twitter Blue, but
Yeah,
I'm
that's.
just saying.
I mean, you're gonna pay to pretty much be validated to have that
No,
blue check
this
mark,
is free. Mastodon is free.
but you have to upload your personal information.
You have to pretty much have you have to use a wallet and all this stuff and like you create your own identity, you know what I mean? It's like a one-to-one thing. It needs to get better. I mean, because not everything on the is Web 3.0 right now, but it's the path towards an internet where the people own their content and the people can, you know what I mean? You can't take it down, man. Like you
I kind of like the anonymity of like just like all right, I'm Scallywag Talks. All right, you're not like people went out there looking for my government. They probably won't find me, which is kind of like what
yeah,
I like.
right.
And I Google search myself and I don't find anything, which I like.
Okay.
I bet you're gonna send me like a text like, "Look what I found on YouTube."
Yeah, I was actually gonna do that actually. I was gonna be like, yo,
Like, okay.
I found your stuff on the dark webs for sale. Because dude, this is what's okay, so that's a great point. Like the Equifax breach, right? Like they collect information on everybody. And there was a massive leak, and then everybody's information was for sale. Recently there was another leak that just happened that damn, I forget which company it was. But dude, everybody's information's leaked. It was out there for sale. And it's just like, dude, that's how come we have to do the Web3. Not just for ownership of our content and our data, establish who is the person, saying you could track back where that information is being shared from. This goes back to let's say spying on people. You could be able to target, who is it. Like everybody will be encrypted too. So like, spying wouldn't be a thing. You know what I mean? But then there's another aspect of it. I don't want to get into it, where it's just like quantum computing and all that stuff. Because then all this cybersecurity stuff is going to be a joke, like all these cryptography algorithms. Like when people see HTTPS and all the encryption for VPNs, all that stuff could get cracked with a quantum computer, which the government has access to. So all this Web 3.0 stuff right now it needs to be implemented ASAP. Um, but but yeah, we need more security. We need more privacy. Like you were saying, like, okay, let's say they do know it's you, scallywag, right? So what?
I'm not plotting to take over the government. Like, I don't care really, but it's like I just don't want. I don't know. I just don't want to go out there on my government. Because just case of these crazy fucks try to look you up. There's fucking crazies out there that they're fucking losers. They would want to like just fucking kill you to kill you. If you ever like spout the wrong thing.
I guess, man. That's like Tim Pool. He just got broken into.
Yeah, yeah, that guy. I mean, that's like the sixth time or something. I don't know. It's
Yeah. All crazy shit is going on, and I think that concludes our episode here.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I'm telling you, I mean, it's a shit show, and I'm just glad we got front row seats for it, man. Right
yeah,
now, what's going on in like society as a whole, it's pretty interesting. I mean, the mask has come off, the veil has been lifted. We're all walking down that road to perdition. Like, where the fuck does it go? Is it
yeah,
like,
yeah.
is it going to go to a messy end? Like, what's really going on right now?
Civil War. Let's see.
Deep State is fucking. They're on their heels. It looks like. So I mean, I kind of like this,
Yeah.
but it's giving. I mean, I'm catching some white pills. So
Okay. What do you think about getting on a Clubhouse after this, or one of those Twitter Spaces, or
I'm
some
gonna
other
be
time?
watching I'm gonna be watching one of my white supremacist Christmas movies.
Oh, nice. Enjoy that.
Yes. So says Jackson.
Oh, what movie
Did
is that?
you heard her? She said a Wonderful Life is like a representation of white supremacy.
Oh,
Yes.
God. Well, I
Yes.
don't follow politics. You're the politics guy. I'm the tech
And
guy.
yeah, and that's a Supreme Court justice that said that. We are, it's
Well,
clown world, bro. All
there you go. All right, there you have it, guys. That was another
right.
episode.
Peace.
Peace.